Just reply me quickly on the chat itself. Are you guys aware about the digital marketing and a few basics about paid? Good. Says yes. What about others? Thank you for the response, Rahul. Okay,
Guys,
let
it
me give
would be
you a quick introduction.
just 1 second, Shashank. Guys, it would be very helpful for Shashank and for all of us if you guys respond to his questions through chat or through audio. You are free to use your audio also. It would be a better session that like this way. Thanks.
All right, Anirudh, I'll start with a quick overview about digital marketing. So, what digital marketing is? So whatever we do in marketing, when we use online channels, we use digital technology, mobile phone, internet devices. When we use those technologies to market our product or services, it comes under the purview of digital marketing. Someone is saying something. I'm sorry, there is some chatter here. All right, I'll not get distracted and get back to the topic. So when you talk about marketing via online channels, that is what digital marketing is. So let's compare traditional marketing versus the current marketing which we do online,
The
right?
Wi-Fi must
So
be
if we talk about 90s predominantly, the only mode of marketing advertisement was television. We had newspaper,
Wi-Fi
magazines,
on कर रखा है
radio
तुमने
devices. We had billboards and banners,
Wi-Fi यूज कर रही
right?
है
And magazines were
कुछ
there.
चाहिए तो हॉटस्पॉट यूज
Newspapers were
करियो
very prominent
अभी
mode
यूज
of
मत करियो वाईफाई
advertisement there. But now, if you compare the same with current trend, yes, television is there. Yes, newspaper and magazine is still dominant there. But if we look at the online marketing, we have OTT channels now. Movie Star. We have Amazon Prime, we have Netflix, Z5, MX Player, and a lot of OTT channels which we use for news and watch movies. Similarly, we spend a lot of time on YouTube and Facebook and other social media. Someone is voice is it?
Shashank, there is, I
Hello.
think, yeah, Shashank, I think there is some problem at your side from because the internet connection. Because there is some stutter in your voice. The voice is not exactly clear.
Let me check. Can you guys do give me 2 minutes to read?
Yeah, sure, Shashank.
I'll do that. Anirudh, am I audible now?
Yeah, Shashank.
All right, let me start from the very beginning. So we had a quick overview about digital marketing. So whenever we use digital channels to market our product or service, that comes under digital marketing. So we have search engines, we have social media, we have display network, we have email services. So SMS does not come under digital channel. We have influencers, affiliate, and referral marketing. We have direct traffic, which comes under digital marketing, right? So let's compare with traditional marketing channels. So we had television. Now we have Hotstar, we have Amazon, we have Netflix. We had newspapers in the past. Now we have online news portals. We have e-magazines. We had radio in the past. Now people prefer music via online streaming. We have Ghana, we have Wink. Then we have podcasts which are running online. We had billboards in the past. Now, if we look at the predominant channel, we have websites, we have apps where we can add banners and we can show advertisements. So all these things, if you compare with the traditional channel, we have the same counterpart in online channel as well. So the question is, why do we use online marketing? The only answer is reach. So if you talk about past audiences, they used to stick around TV, they used to spend time on radio, they used to read newspaper, the physical one. If you look at the current lifestyle, it's predominantly online. So people spend a lot of time on their mobile devices. The average usage of mobile devices is close to 4 hours on a daily basis, right? Plus, we spend a lot of time in our offices spending on websites. We browse through news channels, and all. That is why if you have to reach your target audience, you have to evolve your marketing, and that is when we move from offline marketing, and a very major focus is on online marketing, right? Are you hearing me? You are getting me? Andrej, if you can keep adding your response, at least that my voice is clear, am I audible to everyone, that would be great.
Yeah, you're totally audible.
Sure. So, if you talk about digital marketing, I told you it's search engines, social media, display, email, influencers, direct, a lot of channels there. But today it's about paid media marketing. So the question is, why do we use paid media marketing in a time when we have other channels which are organic? So if we talk about SEO, that is absolutely free. We talk about social media, Facebook. Yes, it is free. You can go ahead, promote your content on Facebook. But then why do we use paid marketing? The question is very simple. The kind of reach you have on your earned channels. So if I compare the traffic on my website, especially mypad.in, we get close to 1.2 lakh users per month. That's what we get on one of our blogs. Now the question is, if we have to target more than that, I'm talking about thousands of millions of users, we go ahead and target those users, because those users are hanging on other websites, they are hanging on other channels, social media, Facebook and other. So what we do, that is why we use paid media marketing, because these channels, if I talk about some stats here, let me share some stats with you, right? Google is the primary search engine. 97% usage is on Google. And if you talk about Google's primary revenue, Google gets around $100 billion in ads. That's what they earn. If you talk about Facebook, Facebook makes around $40 billion in ads. That's per year revenue. And if you go ahead and look at the apps, out of 5.5 million apps, 90% of the apps are absolutely free, and their primary monetization channel is in-app advertisement. So if you have to go ahead and tap these channels, you will have to spend on paid media, because advertisement is their primary revenue model. So you will have to go ahead and spend in order to increase your reach, in order to increase your exposure, because without paid, your exposure is very limited. All you can expect is to post something on social media. Someone is saying something. Another say that my voice is not clear again.
I've replied to him, no issues. You continue.
Okay. So point is, why do we use paid media? We use it because we need exposure, we need reachability. Now another reason why we use paid media is that, if we talk about Facebook, after 2014, the reach of organic posts on Facebook it is decreasing. Why? Because Facebook also wants to make money. They want advertisers to go ahead and promote their content. So what they do, when you make an organic post on Facebook, the reach is very limited. And then if you have to increase your reach, you have to go ahead and post that boost using their Facebook ad platform. Similarly, if you talk about Google, and if you look at the SERP of the Google, I know you know SERP, the search result page. So when you type anything on Google, the page that comes up, that is what is called SERP. So say for example, I say buy shoes online. So this result page is what is called SERP, search engine result page, right? So if you look at the SERP currently, right, it has it has changed drastically in favor of advertisement. And why I'm saying so? It's because when you compare a normal snippet, which is the organic snippet, with your paid snippet, you have ad extensions in your snippet. You have a lot of other things in your snippet which you cannot do. Those changes you cannot do in SEO in the organic snippet, right? Also, if you talk about the audience size on search, apart the audience is limited. So if you have to reach millions of users, you will have to go to the biggest audience, and that is display network. And that is where you will learn a lot about programmatic buying. You would learn about real time bidding and those sort of things. And as a fun, I would say you guys are students, you are preparing for digital marketing, you would looking forward to a job in digital marketing. It's not a fact, but usually paid marketers are paid more than organic SEO counterparts. So if you have 2 years of experience in paid marketing and you have experience in organic marketing, say SEO, usually you can expect to be paid more in search and paid. Well, that was just for fun, not something you should stick to, because eventually you should learn every aspect of digital marketing, all the way from search to display to video shopping and other. Right. So let's quickly talk about different type of ads we run in digital marketing. Right. So the first one is search. Search is where you go ahead on a search engine, you type something, and in response, you'll see a lot of ads coming. The first four listings usually on Google, they are the paid ads, they are search ads. So that's what search ads are. Similarly, when you go to any other website and you see a image ad there or a banner running over there, right? That comes under display advertisement. Also, when you go to YouTube, you see a lot of video ads running, right? So that comes under video. And apart from, go to news websites or any blog website and you see a video playing over there, that is also a part of video advertisement. Also, a lot of OTT platforms. So when I say OTT platforms, I'm talking about Hotstar, I'm talking about Netflix and all. They have their own ad network now, where you can go ahead, you can host your video as an ad, and you can target their audience, the audience which is hanging out on their platform, and show your product. You can promote your product there.
I have a
Similarly,
question
shopping
here.
is another. Mhm.
So, Shashank, what this OTT stands for actually?
Your voice is not audible. Sorry, Anurag.
Yeah, so I'm saying that this OTT, so the OTT is basically Hotstar kind of platform, or we are considering every video, or what we say, video subscription application or website in this OTT. Are we considering all of them, like Netflix and Amazon Prime, everything?
All the channels which host these kind of videos, we talk about Amazon, we talk about Netflix, we talk about uh, Hotstar, right? All these channels are called OTT channels, right?
Okay.
Channels which host videos online.
So, will we consider YouTube as an OTT?
YouTube is a video hosting platform. They you can host your video, right? Because on Hotstar you cannot platforms. OTT platforms are, the full form is over the top. What they do is they provide their own video content to you so that you can consume as a user. So the difference is you cannot go ahead and host your own video on Hotstar.
Okay, okay. Shashank, hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, okay, got it.
This is very unfortunate. There is a lot of complaint about voice. I don't know how to fix this.
I don't know. Actually, maybe
See,
the Webex has a
what
problem
is
with this.
happening? See, what is happening is, this is a lockdown period. Everybody right now is using internet, so bandwidth is going to be an issue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I have restarted the modem and it's still not very good. It seems.
Yeah, actually the
So can we
Wi-Fi.
get back to this?
Yeah, yeah, we should get back to it. Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about search, we talked about display, we talked about video, and then comes shopping. So what happens when you go ahead and you type any retail object? Say, for example, you typed online shoes. Right now, there is no ad coming up because of lockdown. All the channels, all the online portals, they have stopped their delivery, and that is the only reason they have stopped running ads as well. But usually what happens is when you go ahead and type something, say for example, if I say buy shoes online, what would come up is a list of items would come with their image, their price, and a text, a very simple heading of the name of the product. So those kind of ads which come on the top of the Google, they are shopping ads. Similarly, when you go to Amazon and you type something, you see a lot of sponsored products there. Have you noticed that sponsored products? There seems to be a voice, I guess. So all those sponsored products which we see on Amazon, that is also a part of shopping campaign which we see. Right. So the next type of campaign is app install campaign. So when you go ahead and look at Play Store, there also you see a lot of ads coming up. So if you type if you search a ad on Play Store, so go ahead and type any app name, and you'll see a lot of promoted apps coming up. So those ads which we run on Play Store to promote our apps, they come under app install ads. Also, Google has a separate category of ads where you can go ahead and promote your mobile app. That comes under app install campaign, which is called universal app campaign. I'll write it here on this uh, uh, sheet here if you can see. It's universal app campaign.
Hi Shashank, Harman here.
Hey Harman, how are you?
I'm good. Shashank, actually, I'm not able to see your screen. I'm not sure why. I was.
Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yeah, Shashank, it's visible to us. Yeah.
Harman, you'll have to reconnect, I guess, because I have shared my screen from this.
Okay, I'll reconnect again. Okay, no issue.
Right. So the next type of ad which we are talking about was native ad and sponsored content. So go ahead. Someone said something. I'm sorry. There's a lot of interruption. Right. Let's get back to this. So when we go ahead and say, for example, if we are browsing Times of India news channel, or say, for example, we are browsing through some of the blog websites. So at the very bottom, you will see a lot of sponsored content, right? Someone says there's nothing on the screen.
Actually, Shashank, there is actually, I think you have opened your WebEx on WebEx tab. If you open your presentation tab, you'll be able to see the presentation.
Uh, Let me again.
Yeah, actually, you haven't opened your presentation tab in the Google Slides tab.
Is it audible? Is it visible now?
No, wait a second.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's visible.
I'm talking about the screen.
Yeah, now it's
Anirudh, I'm
visible.
talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
my presentation.
Yeah, the
So can we
presentation is
start?
visible. Yeah, yeah, we should continue.
Okay. So I was talking about the type of ads. I just revised it quickly. I know there's been a lot of distortion, a lot of distraction. So let me quickly recap. So I was talking about the type of ads we run in digital marketing, currently in digital channel. So we have search campaigns which we run. We have Google search engine, Bing is there. Yeah, we run search campaigns on Amazon as well. These are those campaigns which we run for a particular keyword. So say for example, you type something on Google and a list of ads appear on Google's search engine result page. Those are the ads I'm talking about. Those are the search ads, right? Now comes display or banner advertisement. For example, we go ahead and we browse a website. We are going through a blog website, we are going through a news portal, or we are going ahead and looking at YouTube. So all the image ads which come up, on the side of the video on YouTube, or when you go on news website, the image ad or the banner which comes on the left hand or the right hand or the middle of the page, those advertisements we call them banner advertisement. They come under display channel. Then comes video advertisement. So when you open a video on YouTube, usually it starts with a 5-second video ad. That is what comes under video advertisement. Similarly, when you go on Facebook, you see a lot of videos running, sponsored videos. That comes under video advertisement. Also, when you go to news channels and some of the other blog channels, there also you can see a lot of videos being hosted on the platform as a part of advertisement. So those kind of videos which you see there, they come under video advertisement. Then there is shopping. So when you go ahead and type a retail object, say for example on Google. So say for example, I go ahead and type buy shoes online. So you'll see at the very top of the result page, you will have an image of the product, the price of the product, and the name of the product, right? So I'll just show you a quick snippet of shopping ad, because as of now, most of the companies have stopped their ads. So this is the kind of ad I'm talking about. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Shashank, it's visible.
So this is the kind of ad I'm talking about, right? So these are the ads which come under shopping ads, right? Then we have app install ads. So what happens nowadays? App installs are very important part of marketing strategy. Most of the companies, just to retain their users, they want more of the app usage than their web usage. So we promote a lot of content based on app promotion. So the app content we promote for app comes under app install. So Google has a separate category of advertisement, that's universal app campaign, which we run on Google. Also, if you see, when you go on Play stores, you will see a lot of ads coming for apps. So say for example, if I go ahead and type planning ads or planning apps, so you will see a lot of planners will come up, and you will see on the top there will be 2 to 3 ads coming up. So those are app install ads. When you click those ads, you are directed to the app store, and you can download the app from the ad itself directly. Then one of the most popular ads these days are native ads and sponsored content. So say for example you go on Quora. Quora is a very popular content channel. You will see a lot of advertisements coming up on Quora, which will be a part of the platform itself. It won't be intrusive. So when you see the platform, it will appear as a part of Quora, but those content are sponsored contents. Similarly, when you go to a blog website, a news website, you will see a lot of content coming at the bottom of the page, and those are sponsored contents. Now, and the channels we use them are Taboola, we have Outbrain, we have Columbia Ad Network. A lot of channels are there which provide native advertisement. And then comes remarketing. Though remarketing is not particularly a type of advertisement, but this is something which will have to take it up separately. Why? Because of the importance of it. So all these users who are coming to your website, you would not want to lose them, because at the first go only 5 to 7% users convert. So what happens is, all those 90% of the users which are not converting, you go ahead, you make a list which is called remarketing list or audience list, and you retarget them. You show your ads to them again and again, and those kind of ads come under remarketing channel, right? So far everything was clear.
Yeah, everything is clear.
So we had a quick overview of digital marketing. We had a quick comparison of digital marketing with the traditional channels, which is television, newspaper, magazines, radio, and billboard. Then we wanted to talk about the type of ads we run and the channels we have. So we have search engines where we run search ads, media channels where we run video ads, display ads. We have display network where we go ahead and run video ads and image ads. Plus we have email, though SMS does not come under digital marketing, but that's a very important channel we have to consider. Then we have direct traffic. So direct traffic is that traffic which comes directly to your website. So say for example, you go ahead and type MyPat on Google, and you see MyPat in MyPat's website. You go ahead and click on that. So if I type mypad.in and press enter, the website that would open up, this is the direct traffic. Someone who uses your URL directly in the URL bar, that's what direct traffic is. So that's also a part of a traffic channel which we get. Then let's talk about paid marketing and the question we wanted to attend, why we use paid marketing. So I was telling you, we use paid marketing sheerly for the kind of exposure we need, because with other marketing channels the reach is limited. Because for SEO you have search engine, Google as a search engine, but then it takes a lot of time, and then there is a limitation. So if you start working on SEO today, you will have to work for a minimum of 4 to 5 months before you can start expecting a good amount of traffic. Whereas with paid advertisement, the results are rapid, and then you can compare it with real-time results. You can analyze the data, you can go ahead and make changes accordingly. Also the SRP is changing, so what happens is ads are getting more and more clicks because of all the ad extensions and other technological changes which Google has brought. Ads are getting a lot of preference there. When you talk about Facebook and Instagram, I have already told you that visibility of organic posts, that's decreasing. Also with ads, one of the very important part is we get a lot of data and a lot of advanced targeting features. So with these targeting features, we can create very personalized ads, and we can show to users the ads based on their past behavior, based on what they are looking for, which is something we cannot do in organic thing. I've already shared the stats with you guys. If you look at the future of paid marketing, Google is already making close to $100 billion via ad channels. Facebook is making close to $40 billion. Also, to look at the primary revenue model of most of the portals where our target audience hang around. Because, say, for example, if I talk about social media, most of our users are on social media, and the primary revenue model for social media is online advertisement. Our audience hangs around on news portals, and the primary channel for monetization for news channels is also ad revenue. If you talk about games, most of the gaming apps are free, and if you talk about those free apps, they have in-app advertisement, which is their primary mode of revenue. So that is why if we have to go ahead and tap these channels, if we have to go ahead and find our target audience where they are hanging out, then we'll have to go ahead and pay to these channels in order to show our advertisement. So one of the thing is, what are those skills which are required for paid marketing? So before going ahead with this, I would want to tell you something about my journey, how I started paid marketing, and in fact how I started digital marketing, to be honest. So I was working in a sales job prior to this. It was 2011 when I started working, and for 3 to 4 years I worked in core sales. Unless I'm little conscious, am I audible to everyone? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Shashank,
You are
you're
audible.
absolutely audible. Yeah.
Right. So I started working in sales, and it was 2014 when I joined a program from XRI for advanced learning. And when I completed the course, I quit my job and I started my own venture. That was an online grocery thing. It was very popular thing in 2015. Online grocery was very hot. We started that venture, and that is when we hired a online marketing agency for marketing our product, for building the website. So what that agency did, they built our website, they did some basic SEO, they also set up analytics for us, and also they set up all the ad campaigns and everything. So that is the first time I came across all those things. Although I had prior exposure to some of the PPC things in my sales job, but that was the first instinct when I actually got to know what digital marketing is. Right? Unfortunately, we could not hang on in the competition for more than 11 months, and we had to shut shop. But after I closed the business, I realized digital marketing is really amazing and the scope is very high. You have a lot of jobs which are available in the market, and as media is moving online with the penetration of internet and mobile devices, this is going to be the future, and that is what I realized. So what I did, I used that 10 months of experience with the agency, and I started freelancing project. And my first freelance project was with my own, I would say, it was a real estate agent. He actually helped me get my flat on rent. So I approached him, I asked him if I can help him with leads for all the people who are looking for flat on rent near my area, that was Indrapuram, Ghaziabad. So that is when I started my first campaign. That was absolutely free. I did not charge anything from him, but at least I got a very good exposure running ad campaigns and everything. Later on, I also worked for a couple of clients. One of them was into cat preparation coaching. The other was a retail online business that was it was topsyturvy.in. They were into a lot of fashion accessories they sell online. So I worked for them for a couple of months, and then in September I started a full-time job in digital marketing. I worked for around 4 years past that experience, and now I have explored paid media. I have worked for social media marketing. I have worked in SEO. I have worked in analytics and all the channels. So if you talk about what are those skills required to be successful, if you really want to start in paid marketing, I would say you need a mix of your creative skill and your analytical skill, because testing is very important when it comes to paid marketing. You got to start the campaign, and then you got to keep checking the results. You got to keep analyzing the data, and after data analysis, you have to build hypothesis. You have to test that hypothesis, analyze the result again, and keep optimizing. So it's an ongoing cycle where you have to keep optimizing your campaign using the data. Second is you got to visualize it as a funnel. So if you talk about marketing funnel, we have the first stage of funnel is awareness. The second stage is consideration. Then comes the third stage, third step, and we have at the very bottom sales, which is the final conversion. So you have to
Shashank,
look at paid marketing.
Shashank, it will be helpful for everyone if you can show the examples of the skills they're talking about. Probably you can show them what is a funnel look like, and what are the software that you use for the funnel visualization.
Right, I'll go ahead and show everyone, but I'm not sure, Harman, how they'll be able to grasp it, because I was just wanted to give them an overview, and then
Right,
probably we can go deeper into every step. Once this overview is complete, we can go
right.
ahead and take up every topic in detail. That is what the purpose was, right?
Okay,
So let's complete this overview, and then we can take up everything in detail.
okay, okay. Cool.
Sure. So I was talking about funnel visualization. So what funnel is? So if we talk about advertisement, so ad starts with an impression. So that's the first step where you go ahead and you start your campaign. Your users see your ad for the first time. So that is what impression is. So you of this industry jargon, impression, CPC, CPA, or should I explain everything?
I think that's something you give a small overview about it, what CPC is, what CPA
I'll
is.
go ahead and give an overview always. The ad campaign starts with impression, where your target audience first sees your ad. So when someone looks at your ad for the on their screen, that's what is counted as an impression. So say for example you go to a website and the ad pops up on the screen and you see that ad, so that is counted as one impression. If you are scrolling in your Facebook feed, ad comes up, you see that ad, that is counted as an impression of the ad. So ad starts with impression. So as a user, the next step is that user goes ahead and clicks on that. So that's the next step of the funnel. Now once the user clicks on the ad, they are redirected to your website, so that is counted as a traffic on your website. So from comes the click, from click we get a traffic. When that traffic lands on your landing page on your website, right, if they go ahead and convert, that is when a lead or a prospect. So that's the next step of funnel. And finally, when you go ahead and you convert that lead into a sale, that is the last step of the funnel, which is called sales, right? So when you talk about visualization, as a digital marketer, we got to visualize each step of the funnel if we have to be very successful in our ad campaign. For example, if I talk about PPC, Google Ads, right? And if I talk about impression, that's the very first step. The first step is to get as many impressions, relevant impressions as possible. So we'll have to go ahead and work on our size. We'll have to go ahead and look at our targeting. We'll have to increase our targeting. So targeting is both contextual which is where someone is, for example, if a website is related to online gaming, and you have a app which is an online game, you go ahead and run ads on all those websites which contain keyword online gaming. So that's contextual targeting. Second is behavioral targeting. So say for example, as a user, my behavior is that I download a lot of online games. I play online games a lot, right? So Google is that has stored my data, so I'll fall into a category where I'll be an active online gamer. So when you go ahead and target me as a user using my past behavior, that is behavioral targeting, right? So you increase your audience targeting. You use contextual targeting, you use behavioral targeting, you use keyword targeting, right? To increase your target audience. Second, impression share. So say for example, I'm running an ad on a particular keyword and there are 1000 impressions for that keyword. I would to get maximum impression share out of that 1000 in order to increase my reach, in order to increase my impression. Similarly, I'll have to go ahead and look into auction insight report a lot, wherein other people are also a part of the auction. So I'll have to go ahead and beat everyone else in that auction to be at the top of the reach so that I can get impressions. So if you have to optimize the first step of the funnel, that is impression, you can work on targeting, you can work on impression share, you can work on auction. Then comes the next step, which clicks, which is traffic. So when your ads are visible to a user, you have to ensure that the ad is relevant to user so that the user clicks on that ad. So out of 1000 impressions, say for example 100 users clicked on your ad, so your CTR, that's click through rate, is counted as number of clicks divided by total number of impressions. So out of total number of times your ad is shown to a user, the number of times the user clicks on the ad, when you look at that ratio, that is usually CTR. So if you have to increase your clicks, you'll have to go ahead and work on this metric, which is CTR. You have to get maximum CTR in order to get maximum traffic. That's the second step of the funnel. Now, how you can increase CTR? You'll see a lot of content on finding how I can improve my CTR. I'll give you just an overview. So when you talk about user who is looking at the ad, you will have to understand his behavior, his intent, what he's looking for, and you'll have to match that with your ad copy. And then the same thing should be visible on your landing page. So there should be a coherence between what the user is looking for, what your ad is saying, and what you are displaying on your landing page. Similarly, you can use dynamic keyword insertion. Now, there's a lot of things you will see here for the first time. I'll go ahead and explain everything in detail at later stages, what dynamic keyword insertion is. Then you have to go ahead and create segmentations based on users behavior so that you can create a relevant ad to a particular segment. So for example, if someone is interested in shoes and you go ahead and show them an ad of a shirt, he might or might not click on your ad, right? So if you create a segment of all those users who are looking for shoes and you show them ad based on shoes, that's what you're selling. I assume you're selling shoes. What is the landing page? All right, I'll tell you everything in detail. Just give me 5 minutes, I'll explain everything. But I'll tell you in brief, landing page is a web page where you redirect your user. So say for example, your user clicks on your ad and that ad takes user to your website. The page where the user is landing, that is what the landing page is. Coming back to clicks, if we have to maximize the click, we have to work on CTR, for which relevancy is very important. You can use ad extensions to increase your CTR. We'll come to this later once again as a part of our ad copy making, how we can make relevant ad copies to get maximum CTR. But the funnel is, it starts from, it goes to click traffic, then moves to leads. Now all those users who have landed on our website, they have already landed on our website. Now it is our job to go ahead and fulfill their needs. So say for example, if you are looking for digital marketing course and you go ahead and click on an ad and you land on a website which is not even about digital marketing, you will not go ahead and sign up, or you will not go ahead and do what the advertiser wants you to do. You'll simply close the page, you'll bounce back. So if someone is looking for digital marketing, as an advertiser, I should be going ahead and promoting a product which is related to digital marketing, and then I should land them on a landing page which is about digital marketing and which is relevant user is looking for. So at this step of the funnel, you use a lot of tips which are called CRO, conversion rate optimization techniques. You will come across this word as well, CRO. So I'll go ahead and explain you what CRO is. It's conversion rate optimization, right? So this is what we use at this step of the funnel, where we go ahead and now convert lead users who have landed on our website, and we convert them to lead. Now lead is a user who has given their details. If, for example, they have given their phone number, they have given their email ID, or any detail you are looking for, and they have filled a form. So you use all these CRO techniques in order to convert these leads. Now the last step of the funnel is sales. Now that the user is converted their leads, you have to use a lot of sales funnel optimization technique. You have to use remarketing. You have to use conversion optimization techniques. But these users into your actual paid user. Now someone is asking how to create landing pages. Rahul, I'll get back to this point. You can ask me at the very end of the session. I'll tell you there are tools which are available which can help you create landing pages. Also, you'll have to have some basic knowledge of HTML, CSS. If you know that, it will help you create a landing page of your own. Right. So this is what I was talking about. So if you want to be successful in digital marketing,
the landing page creation. So there is this software called Elementor. It's a WordPress plugin. So is it a landing page creator build like landing page builder are also landing page software only, na?
Anirudh, I have not heard about this particular tool, but if I talk about, there are many tools which will help you create a landing page. So say for example, you go ahead and use WordPress, right? You can create a very good landing page. In fact, a whole website using WordPress. Second, Wix is there. But if you
Like
already
I'm
have a
using
website,
WordPress right now. Like nowadays I'm using WordPress for the creation of a website for digital leaders only. So it's like I find it quite
Mhm.
difficult because like there are like premium, what we say, the premium themes. When I see the premium themes have a much better features as compared to the free themes.
See, if you have to use WordPress, I would suggest if you know some basics about HTML, CSS, and bits and pieces about JavaScript, you can go ahead and edit those themes. Otherwise, you'll have to spend a lot of time researching on those themes, which theme is good for your suitable for your requirement, and then select that theme. But if you already have a website and you want to create a landing page, that necessarily need not to be very similar to what the website is. You can use a lot of tools like lead pages, Insta pages, Unbounce, Get Response. These are some
Yeah.
of the tools which can help you create your own landing pages.
Okay.
And these are drag and drop option based. So all you have to do is to sign up, use those drag and drop features, and create a landing page which can be very decent and high converting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So what I was talking about digital marketing is, to be successful, you got to start visualizing funnel. And when I say funnel, I'm talking about customer journey, a customer moving from the first impression of your ad to becoming your paid customer. So he first sees your ad, he clicks on your ad, lands on your website, fills your form, becomes your lead, a prospect. You go ahead and use all the techniques to go to pitch your product to that user, and finally that they buy your product. So and they become your paid user. So once you start visualizing that funnel, that is when you will be able to understand which step of the funnel needs to be optimized. And particularly in paid marketing, we talk about these things in terms of impression, click, lead, and sale. In general marketing, we talk about audience, traffic, lead, and sale. The next step is copywriting. In paid marketing, another skill which is very important is copywriting. Your ads should be very appealing. And when I say appealing, they should have an emotional appeal. They should have the exact requirement. Say, for example, I'm looking for shoes online, and if I look at an ad, and it should have all the elements I need as a user so that I can get motivated to click on that ad, right? So the information, you cannot go ahead and run an ad with half-baked information, because that's when user will see your ad and they won't click on your ad and move to the next ad, because there are competitors there. The same website where you are going ahead and showing your ads, your competitors are also showing your ad probably. So you got to make sure your ad copywriting skill is very good. And when I say copywriting, I'm talking about compelling ads. Now there is a lot of talk about how to write compelling ads. There are online courses, Udemy and Coursera, where they specially teach you how to write ad copy. And this is something, how to write ad copy will have to come up. We'll go ahead and discuss this in very detail, how to write a good ad copy. Now the next step, once you learn how to write a good copy and you are getting a very good CTR, the second fourth important thing which you need in paid marketing is analytics, because paid marketing is all about numbers. You have to go ahead and look at numbers. So when you run your ad, say for example, I started my first ad and I waited for 7 days precisely to see what is going on. And at the end of the 7th day, I downloaded all the data where my ads are being placed, all the websites where I'm showing my ad, which websites are giving me good CTR, which websites are giving me good conversion, where I'm getting relevant traffic, which are actually now buying my product, because you will see a lot of web traffic coming to your website which is not even relevant, and you would not want to show your ad on those websites which are not related to your target audience. Because say for example, if I'm looking for digital marketing course and I go ahead and run an ad on a cooking website or say a fashion website, I'm not sure how many relevant users I'll find there. So when I run ad, I'll have to go and analyze the kind of traffic I'm getting, the kind of clicks I'm getting, the conversions I'm getting, and then once I get that data, I should be able to interpret that data in order to visualize that funnel, that which step needs an improvement. So when I joined MyPat, the challenge here was that we were getting hardly 2 to 3,000 leads a month, and looking at the team size, our requirement was we needed to generate close to 10,000, 15,000 leads a month. So my first step was to go ahead and visualize the funnel. So in order to increase leads, the first thing I needed was to go ahead and increase traffic on the website. So if you want to increase leads, the first step is to go ahead and increase traffic. Now, to increase traffic, I thought of increasing the reach of the ads, that is impression. So you got to go ahead and reverse engineer the entire funnel. That if you need more sales, you'll have to go ahead and focus on increasing your leads, and then you'll have to techniques how you can increase leads, all the CRO techniques. Then you'll have to think how to increase your clicks. Once you go ahead and optimize your ad copy and everything, once you're satisfied with the CTR, you move to the next step, that is your impressions, your reach. And the most important point is that these are not linear. You don't especially move in a flow where you first focus on impression, you then move to click, you then move to lead. It's a non-linear process. You'll have to understand this funnel and then work on all these steps parallelly. And the last important point is that you have to go ahead and understand the user behavior, user psychology, and what motivates the user in order to be successful in any digital marketing campaign. Forget about paid campaign. Any digital marketing campaign needs a good understanding of user behavior, their psychology, their motivations, the kind of emotions they have, and then you can trigger the right emotion at the right time. So, for example, if I want someone to go ahead and fill up the form or purchase my product, I would have to understand their behavior. I'll have to understand their psychology, what their thought process is, and then accordingly pitch my product to them so that they can go ahead and buy it. So I've just noted some of the points which you need.
Hello? 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 Shashank? Hello, Shashank? Are you there? Hi, Shashank. Shashank, your audio is not, yeah, like your audio is gone. Yeah, it's mute, I think, right now. Yeah, but still, it's not audible. Like, it's not audible to me. I don't think it's audible to anyone else.
Hello.
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yes, can you hear me now? I'm audible.
Yeah.
Uh, where did you guys lose me exactly?
Yeah, so you finished the fifth point, understanding the user behavior.
So I was at this point, right?
Yeah.
Understanding user behavior. This is what. Okay. So I said once we go ahead and visualize the funnel, we got to understand that which message is at which stage of the buying cycle. Someone has unmuted their audio. There's a lot of discussion. Anirudh, can I continue? Am I audible now?
Yeah, you can continue. You're audible.
Okay, so I was talking about the message has to fit at the right stage of buying cycle. So if we talk about top of the funnel thing, where a user is not even aware of your product, and they are not even considering your product. So at that stage, when to create your brand awareness, you can use search ads with information around your product, around the benefits your product can provide. You can provide video ads with your product demo. You can also have branded banners in display advertising. So the top of the funnel advertisement should be built around your product, your company, what your company is, what your company stands for, what your product is, how your product can help user. So all those general informations you give, you use those kind of advertisement for top of the funnel traffic. On the other hand, when you move to the bottom of the funnel traffic, that is when you use ads with pricing information. You target buying intent keywords, those keywords which have, say for example, cost of Amazon Fire Stick, for example. Now, that is a keyword which has a more buying intent from the user side. So all those keywords which have buy as a keyword in them, which has price as a keyword in them, which has cost as a keyword, primary keyword in them, all those keywords can be used at this stage of the funnel, where you can target users who are actually looking to buy your product. Also, you can look for local ads with in-store information. So say for example, if I go ahead and type air conditioner, buy air conditioner, right? And then there is a local store which shows an ad where they display all their information along with their address and other details that I can go ahead as a user and buy AC from nearby shop. So that is called a local ads. Also, at this stage of the funnel, you can go ahead and promote discounts. You can show them deals you have. You can show your product reviews with them. You can show your testimonials. So at this stage, the customer is considering to buy your product, or they are actually going ahead and buying your product, right? So that's the bottom of the funnel. And the last is re-engagement. As I told you, about 90% of the users do not go ahead and buy at the very first go. You have to re-engage them, and for that you use remarketing ads. So say for example, I go ahead on Amazon and I add a product to my cart. Now I do not complete the checkout, I do not purchase the product, and I go to Facebook. I'll start looking at ads related to the exact same product on my Facebook. If I go to a news website, I'll go ahead and I'll see a lot of ads with the same product, price, discount offers on news website. So that is what remarketing ads are. And remarketing ads are also used for bottom of the funnel traffic. The last thing I wanted to tell you about is what we can discuss in future once you get hold of some basics of paid marketing. So when you know the basic strategy, what manual CPC is, what enhanced CPC is. So when you know all these industry jargons, when you understand them, we can go ahead and talk about what the trends are. So that is what I was coming to. Now the trend currently is hyper personalized advertisement. You would not want to see ads. I'm looking for shoes, and as a data aggregator, Google knows my information, and I start looking at ads which are related to shoes. I'll find it relevant, so that enhances user experience. So our trend, future trend of marketing is the ads need to be very personalized. Also, mobile is very dominant nowadays. So 90% of the usage you'll see is on mobile devices, right? So mobile driven advertisement is the next step. Video and interactive content is there. Automation is coming into play a lot. You talk about artificial intelligence, you talk about machine learning, we talk about geofencing, augmented reality. So these are those words you would come across when you'll understand the basic and you'll move to the advanced level of paid advertisement. That is when we can talk about these things. The second most important thing you'll have to understand is when you talk about paid marketing, there are a lot of PPC channels. And if you work for a startup, you'll have to decide which channel to start off with. So, say for example, I have only $1,000 to spend in a month. I cannot go ahead and spend on all the paid channels, be it Google, be it Facebook, be it Bing advertisement, be it Quora. I cannot spend everywhere. So that is when I'll have to learn which channels to use and how to allocate budget based on my requirement, based on the goal I have. So that a very important thing you got to understand as a marketing strategist. You have to, we'll talk about some of the key optimization strategies in order to get a very good return on ad spend. The ROAS is return on ad spend. Then we can talk about what a positive association or emotional selling is. We have to talk about brand storytelling. We can talk about brand wagon effect, humanization of brand. That's what the future is. We have to go ahead and personalize our advertisement. We have to go ahead and humanize ourselves as a brand. We have to talk in person with everyone through online channels. Then I have a list of case studies I have made in order to discuss all the successful ad campaigns. And at last, I wanted to discuss something about performance marketing. What performance marketing is. Marketing is a challenge. Am I audible to everyone? Because this is something very important you got to understand. Anirudh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about SEO or social media, starting with SEO or social media is still a bit, I won't say easy, but it's less tricky. Why? Because you can go ahead, you can create a WordPress website, as I was discussing with Anirudh. You can go ahead and create social media accounts. They are absolutely free. You can content, you can start sharing some of the content on social media, and you can get started. But when it comes to paid advertisement, the problem is that you have to spend actual money if you want to learn, if you want to start the campaign. And that is where it becomes very difficult when you do not have a product of your own, when you do not have an offer on your own, of your own, and you have no job to start working with. And self learning when it comes to paid marketing, that is why I call it little tricky. So how I worked for this, I gave you an example. I worked with one of my agents which helped us get a flat on rent. I approached him, I asked him that I can run a campaign for you for absolutely free, which will give you leads for all those users who are looking for flats on rent. Go ahead and start looking for some internships. Also, if you see Google or Bing, these are two channels which provide you 2000 rupees as free credit to get started. So what you can do is you can go ahead, create your Google account, you will get 2000 rupees as credit. You can start very precise because you don't have a lot of time. 2000 rupees won't last for more than 5 to 7 days. So you have to be very quick in analyzing the data, in understanding those nitty-gritties of the actual tool, and learn how to optimize your campaign. Secondly, I would say when I talk about internship, so when you go for internship, there are a lot of free internships available. Also, if you learn the basics well, you can go ahead and start looking for a job as a fresher. Yes, it is very difficult to go ahead and convince interviewer that you can do the job, especially in paid marketing, where company's budget is at risk. But if you look at the basics very, very, very carefully, if you understand the interface, if your thought process is right, because not every time experience does not matter. Sometimes, as an interviewer, we look at the thought process of the user. So, if I talk about this funnel optimization, if you go ahead and you sit in an interview and when you talk about funnel optimization with your interviewer, even if you have not started a paid campaign on your own, I'm sure he'll be impressed how you understand marketing, how you understand the basics of it, the fundamentals, how you know about funnels, how you can visualize it. You can showcase your data skills there, and then probably you can go ahead and pitch them that you have not done it before, but I'm sure you can do it this time. So you have free internships, you have jobs as fresher. The best thing is that you can go ahead and get some freelancing projects like I did from one of the real estate agents of my own. Till this, if you have any question, I'll go ahead and explain all the points once again in detail. Anybody wants to ask anything, any special term you could not understand, any slide you could not understand, we can go ahead and rediscuss this. Anirudh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, actually,
Anybody?
like you.
Nishant, anybody?
I don't think there is any question. Is there anyone asking question right now? Hmm. So I don't think so. Right now they have any question. Later stage, Shashank, I'll be adding you in a WhatsApp group. So that WhatsApp group is for our mentors. Uh, and welcome to the Digital Leaders family.
Thank you so much,
Also,
yaar.
also the participants who are right here with us, I'll be sending you a link right now here only in the chat box. So you guys can join the mentors group through that link. So that for in future, if you have any questions for Shashank or any of the other mentors, you can ask directly to them. Once again, thank you, Shashank, for your time and for this wonderful session.
Thank you, Anirudh.
Thank you so much, Shashank.
Thank you, yaar. I hope it was helpful.
Thank you, Shashank. Thank you so much. Guys, join this group. So this group is for our mentorship program. So here we have all the future mentors and the past mentors. We have all the mentors are here in this group. And whenever you have any question regarding digital marketing, you have any query, you want to ask anything, you just put up your question in that group, and any one of the mentors will definitely answer your question.